And we're back on the roof. So I'm doing a PM and I went to change the filter and I noticed this whole thing was frozen. It's melted a little bit. It was way worse than this. But yeah, it was frozen all the way to the compressor. The blower motor wasn't running. I've had it off now for a minute. I've checked the run cap. It's 100% because see, it's one of those old school ones, so they never fail. I want to make sure I'm actually getting a call for the fan because maybe one of the relays went bad. Who knows? Anyway, let's go ahead and do it. So here we go. Cool, well that was easy. That was an easy diagnostic. Although, funny thing is I had no amp draws. Let's go ahead and try the red wire here. There we go. Yeah. So that tells us that our fan relays are working fine. So now we got to go ahead and source a motor and change this thing out. All right, so I've disconnected all the wires. We go ahead and remove that. What size is that? So we're going to be using our, what do you call it? Our 9-in-1 pass-through thing. I'm not sure what size that is. I think it's half, maybe. Yep. Again, this is why these things are so useful, is I keep this in my diagnostic bag, and you can see how easily I was able to just unscrew that. And because it's got the ball detent, it holds on to the nut. Now, unfortunately, this one doesn't fit, but I do keep a 1/2-inch wrench in my bag as well. People tell me, Wes, why do you carry so much junk in your bag? This is why. Look at this. These were all trips I would have had to take to the truck, which requires me to go down the ladder, walk to my truck, find the tool. And yeah, this saves so much time by doing it this way. And I gotta take off these 5/16 screws here. Horrible. So when we pull this out, this is going to come out with it. That way the wheel will come out. Oh, that motor's hot. All right, so I can't get the wheel off, so I'm going to have to use my puller. So I'm just going to take it down to my truck and do it. I got the motor on order, so I'll have to come back another day to finish it, but we're not going to be running it anyway, so should be fine. So I'm going to go ahead and close her back up. I've put all the screws back in the holes and stuff so nothing gets lost. I've left the run cap there just in case I forget how it's wired. And then yeah, and we'll just take that with us and we'll probably end up washing it while we're at it. So we got our motor. It is a ridiculously expensive motor, but thanks Trane. They made, it's like a really weird, it's like 3/5 or something. I don't know, strange. It's a 2-phase, or 2-speed, so we should be good to go. So anyway, let's go ahead and open this thing back up and we'll get this thing installed. All right, so here's our crazy expensive motor. And it's a universal because you can switch the rotation. They charge so much money for this, it's ridiculous. But anyway, and then I washed the blower wheel out and cleaned everything. So we're gonna go ahead and put the mounting bracket on there, and then we'll start reassembling this thing. So one thing that I always do is I always take a picture of this, because once I put the belly band on there, you won't be able to see it. So if I need to refer to it, at least I'll have it. So we'll go ahead and take our picture. All right, cool. We're gonna go ahead and tighten this up a little bit so it'll kind of hold in place. Okay, make sure that's pretty straight. Yep. All right, cool. We'll crank her down. And this is gonna go on like that, and then our blower wheel. now we have to like line this thing up just right. All right, cool. Let's pop her back in. At the bottom one since that's what's sticking here. Washer first. So it's the nut. Okay, and then make sure it's clear, not hitting nothing. Yeah, this is our rotation. Not hitting anything. Oh, sweet. Alright, so now we need to make our electrical connections. New run cap. All right, so before I zip tie all this down, I'm gonna make sure that my rotation is correct. Make sure none of these wires get freaking torched. All right. Yeah, okay, cool. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the power, make sure it's spin the correct direction. And then we will, if it's all good, then we'll clean her all up. Okay, she is spinning the wrong way, so we need to go ahead and swap it. So I've killed the power, so to swap it, this right here, we just basically connect the yellow to the orange and the orange to the yellow. See, so it's spinning this way. It's going counterclockwise. We need to go clockwise. You see up here it says rotation. So, super easy. Just unplug these. Like that. And then we plug the yellow into the orange, and the orange into the yellow. And an OEM motor that I have to do this is ridiculous, especially for the amount of money they charge. For the amount of money that they charge for this one motor, I could have got 2.5 universal motors, but they have like a weird horsepower. And personally, I prefer to put OEM motors in, but it's like if it's gonna be an OEM, like at least make an OEM, especially if you're gonna charge that kind of money for it. So anyway, we're gonna make sure it spins the correct direction now. Yep. All right, so let's go ahead and clean this up. Okay, so we got her all cleaned up. Nothing's gonna hit. We'll go ahead and power this up, make sure everything works. Okay, we're pulling 3 amps. Let's go ahead and call for cooling. Alrighty, so we have her all closed up and I'm getting the amp draws. This is on low speed and you can see that's a much lower. And that's because we have the panels closed, because normally it's pulling a certain amount through the return duct. When I have all the panels off, it's pulling air from the return duct from here, so it's actually pulling more air. More volume of air is pulled through that motor. So since there's more, it is a higher load, so it's going to pull more amps. But this is when you're getting an amp draw on a blower motor, it's usually a good practice to do it with the doors on, because then you can see what it looks like in normal operation. Now, if I were to have checked it with all the panels off and it was at like 6 amps or something, I'd know something's wrong. So anyway, we're gonna go ahead and call for cooling. If this doesn't call for cool on its own, which it should be, because when I first found this, as you saw, it was frozen. So I didn't change the thermostat, so it should kick on. It might just be a delay. All right, so she's back up and running. I got tired of waiting, so I jumped it out. Anyway, hopefully this helps you out. If you come across a frozen coil, it's either gonna be a dirty filter, a plugged return, dirty coil, or a dead blower motor, or of course low charge. But in this case, it's always best to see if you have any kind of airflow restriction first. before you start messing with the refrigerant charge. So anyway, hopefully this helps you out. So thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, comment, tell me what a horrible technician I am. Hit that bell notification and follow me on Instagram and Facebook. And if you want to support the channel, get some awesome work socks by Camel City Mill. Nighthawk 10 gets you 10% off. And if you like the tools that I use, go ahead and visit the products and pick them up for yourself. Helps out the channel. See you on the next one.